What's up, everybody? Jason Moss here coming at you. Today is September 23rd, 2025. We're answering this week's SEO related questions to real estate investing. Some of them, obviously, like I work with real estate investing, but you can apply these to every niche, every industry. So we'll hop into it. Let me just double check real quick, make sure that this is working properly. Okay, it is. Cool. All right. So let's hop in here. I don't have any other announcements other than you can always follow me in my Facebook group, there'll be a link down in the description below. You can join the group. It's just real estate investors in there. We talk about websites all the time and what's working, SEO, marketing, all the good stuff, right? So you can check out that link in the description. You can join that. You can also email me, text me, if you have questions about SEO related stuff. I'm always here to help. But let's hop into the questions. All right. So first question is from John. All right. And question is, does WordPress sites rank better than Wix, or do WordPress sites rank better than Wix? It's a great question, John. Answer to that is yes, I would say. I really don't have a whole lot of experience with Wix sites. I have ranked them in the past, but generally speaking, WordPress is the way to go. There's a lot more customizations. You basically own the thing. You can, there's plugins for every little bitty thing that you could possibly want to do. Whereas Wix, you are on their platform and you have to abide by their rules. They don't have plugins as far as I know. They never have whenever I used to work with them. And the same thing kind of goes for like Squarespace and some of the other ones, which I'm not really even thinking of right now. WordPress is just generally the way to go. You can do anything that you want with WordPress. Almost every site that you see out there ranking is going to be built on WordPress, especially like a local business site, that type of thing. Webflow is another one that's coming to play. I don't have a whole lot of experience with it either. It's like 99% of my clients are on WordPress, so that's what I would recommend at all times. Framer is another new one that I've heard about, but I don't have any experience with it either. Okay. Next question from Brandon is, does micro workers work well? Brandon, I don't know what your use case is. I don't think I've ever spoke about micro workers on this channel or even in the Facebook group, to be honest. Micro workers is like micro task for those that have not ever been to that site before or have any experience with it. Basically, you can like build a little job or a little gig or whatever, and you can basically pay like very small amounts, like 10 cents or 20 cents or 30 cents to have them do a certain thing. I have used it in the past for certain like click-through rate type things, or to get like YouTube subscribers, things like that. But they have their place in the marketplace or whatever. It just depends on what you're doing. I don't know exactly what you're doing. If you could provide more context, that would be helpful. But as far as like using it for like click-through rate stuff, I mean, it can work fairly well. It just depends on what you're doing with it. Okay. Yeah, send me more context on it though, Brandon. Next question is from Don. How do I get my blog post to index faster or at all? LOL. It's a good question, because blog posts, I don't know. It's weird. Like nowadays, like you can write a banger blog post. I mean, it could be awesome, and it could just sit there. Google could crawl it, and they just won't index it. It's very weird. And then you could go and you could launch a brand new WordPress site and have like the dummy blog post up with lorem ipsum content, and Google indexes it, immediately. It's super annoying. There are different things that you can do. The best link indexer that I've ever used is indexmenow.com. Indexmenow.com. They also have a sister site, which is isitindex.com, which checks if links are indexed. But indexmenow.com works very well. It is very expensive compared to the other ones. It's basically like $1 per link. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but it's a lot more expensive. I might be right on that actually, but they guarantee that it gets indexed or they don't charge you. It's not for bulk stuff because it is expensive. Like you don't want to put like all of your press links in there and have them crawl it. Like it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. But if you have like a very specific blog post that's struggling or you just really want to get it indexed quick, that's what I use. Indexmenow.com. You can also do other methods like go to Google Business Profile. Okay, so your Google Business Profile, make a Google post and use the link to the URL for the blog post as like the learn more link, right? Because that's putting it right under Google's nose. They have to crawl that, so they're going to know about it. You, of course, can also do it in Search Console, right? You can always do it in Search Console if that is on your website, which if it's a blog post, it will be on your website. If it's another link out there on the web, like a citation or a directory link, you have to do that through like Google Business Profile. So Google can go and crawl that link instantly. You can't, you can't, you can't share a link that you don't own in Search Console. Okay. But remember, you can use indexmenow.com. That works very well, but it does cost money. Okay. Next question is from Casey. Hey, Jason, I saw that your dog died. I'm sorry. That's always tough. My question is, if I need leads now, what's the best method? And yes, thank you, Casey. Appreciate that. My dog did die. Well, we had to put him down. He was just old. He was an old wiener dog. So he lived a good life. He was either 16 or 17, not really sure. I rescued him when he was very young. We weren't sure how old he was exactly, but he had a good life. He had a good run. But anyways, yeah, my question is, if I need leads now, what's the best method? Um, if we're talking about real estate investing and you need leads now, the best method to do is PPC, because you can fire up a campaign and you can have it live within, minutes, essentially. I mean, if you know what you're doing and you know how to get that live. Same thing with Facebook ads, but Facebook ads for real estate investing don't tend to be that great. PPC is much better for real estate investing leads. You can also, obviously SEO is not overnight. It's more of a long-term method. So there's not many things that you can do with SEO that you're going to get leads like immediately. You can also do like PPL, which is pay per lead. Essentially, these other guys already have networks out there where they get SEO leads or they get PPC leads, and then you can just buy a lead from them. Generally it does cost a little bit more than if you're doing PPC yourself. But that might be the way to go if you don't know how to set up PPC campaign, right? So there definitely are methods of doing that. Doing PPC or doing PPL if you need leads like yesterday, right? If you need leads today, that's pretty much the only way to go. But that's a good question, Casey. Next question is from Kat, and that is, what's the best SOP of optimizing Google Business profiles? I don't exactly have a shareable SOP for that, but my rule of thumb for Google Business Profiles is fill everything out. Okay. Um, there's so many different sections in there that people just neglect and they don't do. Fill it all out. Fill out the description. Put in FAQs. Upload a bunch of photos. Upload your logo. Put in your hours. Put in your address. All the different areas that they have in there. Fill it all out. Put in your social profiles. Okay, so you're tying all your social profiles back to your Google Business Profile. Like, it's all super important, but a lot of people just put in the bare minimum and they think it's going to do fine, right? Put in everything that you possibly can. Make a few Google posts in there. Put in all your FAQs, which is a huge thing. Reply to any reviews that you might have. If you don't have any reviews, get some ASAP. Like those are super important. You really want to get to like 10. There's like this sandbox area type thing where like once you get past 10, things get a lot better for you. So go through the entire thing, fill it all out. Look at your competition, see how theirs looks compared to yours. Okay. See which ones are ranking in the top 3 for your main keyword and try to do the same. Okay. So yeah, just fill it all out, Kat. Next question is from Jerry, and that is, what's ultimately driving your clients' rankings and leads? Be honest. Be honest, Jerry says. What's ultimately driving your clients' rankings and leads right now? Well, obviously, rankings is from SEO. But if you want to break down the SEO part of it, like I have like a 3-pillar approach. Okay. Your branded SEO. All right. So that's anybody doing a Google search for your brand name. Okay. You have to rank for your brand name before you're going to start ranking for, your money keywords like we buy houses city or sell my house fast city. Okay. So branded SEO, ranking for your brand name, someone doing research on your company, you have to show up, like your website has to show up, but then also your Google business profile has to show up. And then the goal for your branded search is all 10 results are also yours. So that could be like your Facebook profile is ranking, your trusted REI profile is ranking. Maybe there's a press release article in there, or maybe there's a review site in there. Okay. But having all 10 of those. So your branded SEO is the number one thing. And then your on-page SEO. Okay. So making sure the website itself is properly optimized. Okay. Page titles, tags, descriptions, image file names, alt text, even like schema code, URL structure, blog posts, competing pages, keyword cannibalization, all that stuff's got to be on point. Okay. So your on-page SEO. The third thing is your off-page SEO. Okay. So off-page SEO is any other website that's out there that is talking about you or backlinking to you or mentioning you. That could be press releases. It could be your social media sites. It could be your citations in directories like Trusted REI or something like that. Okay. So all of those off-page things that are backlinking to you or just mentioning your brand. Google and LLMs and all these AI sites, they can all crawl that and just see that people are talking about you, and they count it towards, like your SEO or whatever. So once again, that's your branded SEO, your on-page SEO, and your off-page SEO. Okay. Inside of that off-page SEO, one of the most important things that is driving rankings right now for our clients is the backlinks, and specifically speaking about your geo-relevant backlinks and your niche-relevant backlinks. Okay. Because so many people out there only have like their social media sites and maybe some directory sites that are generic, and maybe they go out and buy some high DA, high DR links, right? That are just generic from a random website like Yahoo Finance or something. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd love to have a Yahoo Finance link. Okay. But it's generic. It's just a news site, right? It's going to give you a little bit of power, but there's no relevance behind it. Okay. It is more important to have geographical relevant links. So if you're in St. Louis, having links from other St. Louis based sites, even if it's like from a restaurant or a library or a farmer's market to your real estate site, it doesn't matter because it's St. Louis to St. Louis, right? It's city to city. It's geographically relevant. The other thing is you want the niche relevant links. So you do want the real estate site to real estate site links. Okay. And those can be in any city. All right. Because those are niche relevant links. So geo relevant and niche relevant, those are what are going to drive the rankings at the end of the day. As far as your off-page SEO is concerned, if you have your branded SEO down pat, you have your on-page SEO, that's all good. The off-page is what drives things. especially the geo-relevant and the niche-relevant links, okay? I know that was a lot. You might have to go back and rewatch that a little bit because there's a lot that's in play there. But it's a great question, Jerry. Um, also, Jerry, one other thing with that, leads. If you already have traffic to your site, use an exit intent pop up. I just shared that in my Facebook group. Some guy, someone that's been in there a long time, he saw me talking about the exit intent pop up just the other day, and he had me install it on his website. And he's already got like 20 leads from the thing. Like he already had traffic to his site. He's already getting leads. That's fine. But these are people that are trying to exit his website, right? It pops up a pop-up, a blanket pop-up, and it says, hey, before you leave the site here, just get a quote real quick or get your offer, your cash offer real quick. He's already got 20 leads and you already closed one deal. Like it's insane. It's sometimes it's the easy things, guys. You don't have to try to get more leads. You're already getting the traffic. You just got to convert the traffic into leads, right? So there's a lot of things in play, but yeah, that's a very good question, Jerry. Last question is from Jet, and that is, does direct mail work as good as they say? Well, Jet, I don't know who is telling you what, or how good they're talking about it. But sure, yeah, direct mail works great. I don't have a whole lot of experience with it myself. I do have a bunch of clients that use direct mail as well, and they love it. Now, I will say direct mail, depending on what metro you are in, can be more saturated than other metros, right? That goes for a lot of different kind of advertising methods, but direct mail definitely works. And there's just a lot of variables with direct mail, right? Your mail piece has to be good, your list has to be good, and then it matters what your competition is doing as well. Like, are they getting 10 letters a week from other people? If so, I mean, yeah, your letter might cut through if it's a little bit better, if your mail piece maybe is handwritten versus the other guys or something like that. But still, if they're getting 10 letters a day, they might just be throwing them all away. They have ad blindness or whatever. So yeah, it just depends. It's definitely worth a shot at trying it out. If you do try it out, I would recommend my friends over at Ballpoint Marketing, just a shameless little plug for them, but I know they work. Almost all my clients use Ballpoint Marketing, and they're very, very good. They know what they're doing. They'll help you build the list. They have the best mail pieces. They're all handwritten mailers. So they get the best conversion rate as well. So it's a good question, Jet. Direct mail definitely works, but there are variables that you have to figure out and think about. So yeah, that is all the questions that we have for this week. Hopefully this was helpful. And if you guys have more questions, you know how to contact me. Join the Facebook group, or you can just drop a comment here. I add them all up, at the end of the week, and then I'll answer them all for you. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.